สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome back to our afternoon session. We trust that you enjoyed your meal. Let's now move ahead with an engaging seminar. The next topic is Beyond Recovery, Transforming Thailand's Tourism for a Sustainable and High-Value Future. This topic aims to highlight tourism, which is one of the Thailand's largest and most vital sectors.The discussion will provide an update on the current landscape and consider the direction we should take to ensure its continued growth and sustainability. We are honored to have Chairman Minor International Mr. William Elwood Hynek, Chief Executive Officer Thai Airways International Mr. Chai Imsiri, and Chief Commercial Officer Agoda Mr. Damien Firth.And Ms. Nantika Wiengperm, Vice President DBS Wicker Securities, will be our moderator for the session. So ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite all the panelists and moderator on the stage.
Okay, and I think we can start now. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our panel. So Thailand tourism is one of the key sectors for Thailand, and it contributes more than 10% of our GDP. So today we going to exploring what high value and sustainable growth mean for in practice.And where are the untapping opportunity for Thailand tourism? So in the first section, we going to go to what's happening on the ground right now and what the data are telling us. For the first question, I would like to ask Khun Bill. Minor had operated the luxury lifestyle mid-scale brands globally. What are you seeing as a trend which are driving the booking?And how that's shaping your development plan and also your brand as well?
There's certainly a number of new trends that we've detected in Thailand following COVID and the recovery, and that's principally sustainable tourism as well as wellness tourism. We've recently opened a number of clinics which are designed to provide additional wellness, not just a pampering spa,but separated from our spa operations. And that's proving to be very successful. We're drawing a number of long-haul visitors as well as visitors from the Middle East and other of the Asian markets. In addition, we've also found the other trend is really sustainable growth. And what we're seeing is the greater interest in our natural attractions here in Thailand.And in that way, we've really seen the cultural aspect of travel become much more important. So whether you're in the north and seeing the hills of Chiang Rai and the elephants up there, or you're visiting the beaches in Phuket or Samui, it's important that we continue to maintain all of those natural attractions like we've seen in Maya Beach and various others. And these are drawing huge amounts of tourists.And
for Khun Damien, according to Agoda data, could you share more insights on the trend of the traveling and any trend of like spending per trip that you see from your booking as well? Thank you.
Thank you. So first, I would like to highlight that the number I will share today are based on searches by unique users on Agoda. So we are not the whole market.We think that our numbers somewhat reflect the market, but I'm sure that once you look at certain segments or niches, we are not the full representation of the markets. Second, I'm really happy actually to share that Thailand is still one of the perennial destinations in terms of outbound tourism to a certain destination, and today ranks again number 2 on Agoda. So we see continuous growth in demands towards Thailand.I know this is maybe somewhat contrary to some of the trend, but on Agoda we see a growth of 17% year on year, with very strong growth from Japan, Korea, India, of course, and Singapore as well, which are markets which, in general, back to your question on the spend a little bit more than the other markets. So that's also helping the spend we are registering on the platform. It's great to see that Bangkok as well, because we are in Bangkok, is still very much a well sought after destination. And I hope that, Bill, you see that in your numbers as well. The Bangkok is ranking for the second year in a row the destination with the most repeat visitors. So people that we see have booked Bangkok once on Agoda and booking second time, third time, well above other destinations in Asia. So the appeal of Bangkok continues to be very strong, especially for regional travel. But as you know, the government has also done a lot of efforts pushing what we call secondary destination beyond the Bangkok and the Phuket and the Samui of Thailand. And here as well, we see growth, year-on-year growth of 20% or so. Of course, we all know that there is some decline from certain origin. China is one of them, as it has been reported in the news numerous times. And here I hope that working all together, we can help revert the trend, especially as we are getting closer to the end of the year. And we know that this is, money time. In sports, you call that money time, but the winter season is really money time for Thailand. So we need more Chinese demand to help push the rates up and make sure that everybody has a great season.
Thank you. And Kunchai, post-restructuring Thai Airways, how Thai Airways align the fee, the route, and partnership to support the shipping traveling behavior? And are you prioritizing the high yield or long haul travelings as well as any expanding regional capacity?
Actually, 3-4 years ago, we have a long-term plan on our assets, which is the aircraft. In the past, we used to have 8 different aircraft types. Our long-term goal, not very long, 5 years from now, we will have only 4 aircraft types. And the combination of the wide body and narrow body will changing. In the past, we used to have about 20% narrow body, 80% wide body. Now we're moving more in proportion, 30%, 70%. For what? For make our network more extensive in this region. I think most of the consensus of the outlook in any house already determined that Asia Pacific will be the fast growing area in the world, 5% plus during 20 years from now. That's why we are designing our fleet to cater those growth. Secondly, we design our new network. For what? Actually, in the past, if you look at the numbers, the direct point-to-point revenue is about 95%, 94%. 6% is the connecting passenger through Bangkok. Lately, first half of this year, that proportion was changed to 80% direct traffic, 20% connecting. What does it mean? It means, especially the low season, we can gaining the traffic from long haul to Bangkok and connecting with Thai Airways or with the partners from Bangkok to the rest of the Asia Pacific and vice versa. That means we can denying the low season, which already resulted in our financial statement in second quarter of this year. Our cabin factor in the past for the Q2 is about lower than 70s low, now about 77, which 5-6% improving. That's our strategy. And the second is you mentioning about the high yield and low yield. We did not emphasize in different market because we call it O&D, origin and destination. It's combined from the origin and destination. And we also mixing between direct point to point. Of course, the majority of the traffic will be point to point, but we can be able to, the commercial term they call massaging. We massaging the yield to get a better return for every flight that we fly. So this is a new strategy that we already put in place and already reflecting into the numbers.
Thank you, Ka. And I think we can turn to a theme that has become more and more central, not to only operator, but also to investor, which is sustainability. So, Kun Damien, could you share, are you seeing increasing demand over the low carbon flight or like the eco-conscious flight as well? Are people willing to pay more for sustainability, or that green is still just like nice to have word, not really the decision driver?
Thank you. As a platform, we are really in an ideal position to look both at the consumer and the supply. So happy to share the trends here. First of all, on the consumer side, the demand side, we see continuous high interest in sustainability, be it eco-friendliness or other forms of sustainability. In fact, a study by our sister company Booking.com showed last year that sustainability is important for 84% of the travelers. Now your question is, are people ready to pay more for sustainable options? And what we see today is no, they are not. And what I would add is personally, I don't think they should. I think sustainability is a responsibility for every operators. And we know today as well that there are ways that sustainability can be operated without necessarily increasing the cost. So you can be sustainable and actually save money. So we think that, this is a trend that we want to continue to encourage. As a platform, we see our responsibility. On the consumer side, we want to highlight how the money they spend impact positively the destination. That's why we launched 4 years ago Eco Deals, which is a program when someone is making a booking for certain hotels, we are paying back to WWF a donation of $1 per booking, and we saw our contribution increase tenfold over the last 4 years, reaching $1.5 million this year. So here, consumer make a choice, knowing that his travel will positively contribute to one of the projects of WWF in the region. Now on the supply side, we recently launched, about 3 months ago, the Agoda Sustainability Academy, which is an online platform, free for hotel, where hotels can log in and learn about best practices on how to improve sustainability of the operation, while, very importantly, saving money. So by playing on both fronts, I personally hope that we can contribute to this very important mission of helping travel develop while reducing its impact and also improving the conditions of the people and the ecosystem of the countries they are visiting. And we see a lot of potential in that area. Actually, it's funny about, if you read the Thai news or other news, about, I think 3 days ago, there was another article on Agoda saying that Agoda would only list on its website properties which have a certain sustainability badge. And that, I wanted to clarify, that's never going to be the case. We are not a regulator, we are a platform. So I want to reassure every hotel out there that you don't need a certain badge to be well listed on Agoda, but I also want to highlight that we saw that when customers are exposed to a badge because a property has been certified, it does improve conversion and it does encourage booking. So we will never, reject a certain choice, but we're happy to highlight the properties that are contributing to making this place and the operation more sustainable.
Thank you. And Kun Chai, as an airline operator, I think sustainability would be more like unique for you. So can you walk us through your roadmap for decarbonizing aviation, including the SAF? And are there any partnership or policy that's supporting your roadmap as well? Thank you.
Yeah, as I answered the question about the fleet rationalization, we already get rid of the 4-engine aircraft. Right now we have only 2-engine aircraft, which mean more fuel efficiency and the result of that is low carbon emission. That's how we can, the big improvement from the consumer less of fuel, that's mean less producing CO2. And the rest is about the operation efficiency. We implementing the one engine taxi when aircraft taxiing before takeoff, the pilot just turn on only one engine. And thirdly is about the route optimization. We find the most optimized route to go to the end of destination. But sometimes, because of the geopolitics right now, it's very volatile. It keeps changing by week, by days. For example, lately about Cambodia, of course they're closing some airspace, but so that means we have to reroute a bit, 10 minutes, but that's the 10-minute extra. But we cannot avoid. Then we have to make longer flight hours, a little bit longer flight hour. Not unlike the European route, there's more effect. For example, the Iran airspace, and sometimes lately it's about the in the past the big effect is about is area of Israel and Hamas. That's the big affected. So that's about the route optimization. And about the SAF, actually the SAF is a main contributor to reducing the carbon emission. Around 75% will be contributed from the SAF in the future for the airline. But and right now, European city, they already implemented 2% of SAF from the jet fuel that every airline using. America is the same, but we didn't fly to US. But the slow-moving area is still this region. Thailand, we are not. It's not compulsory to use the SAF, but we working on with the partners, like among the allies ourselves and also the regulators, Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand, and also the Ministry of Energy, to be able to enforcing the industry to use the SAF. Actually, it's a chicken and egg. If you don't have a fuel and you are not forcing the industry to use it, as Damien said, whether your customer are willing or volunteer to pay more for environmental, you just simply said no. Same thing to the airline. We used to implement the volunteer carbon offset in the website, and the pickup rate very tiny. Let's say a couple of $1,000 per month. Very small. So I think this is the awareness of, how can I say, of humankind, to aware that we are all polluted the world. Not only the airline, but also the communities, the passenger, the consumer. We are the one who, myself also, we are polluting the world. Then we have to make the awareness to the society and to the world. Carbon credit, we also comply to the CORSIA, and also even the EU ETS, because Thai Airways fly to European city, but we didn't fly intra-Euro. So we are not fully comply with the EU ETS, which is a European territory. And about the environmental friendly, a lot of Thai product using environmentally product. We starting with even within the company, cabin crew uniform. We using the PET bottle, 70% from the PET bottles, and 30% from silk, weaving and using as a Thai costume uniform. And also even the pilots, you see the pilot wear the white shirt inside, that also 100% recycled fabric. Shirt for the Thai employee, also using the recycled fabric from the used uniform, which you can see the purple color of Thai t-shirt, that's from the used uniform. And we also have we call it zero waste living product, which coming from the used material in the aircraft. And a lot of things, even our vendors in some of the latest one, we will bring in the drinking water from the spring water, which will be locally produced by using the labelless bottle. In the past, we used the label plastic bottle. Now it's labelless. Of course, it will be more expensive, but we cannot deny not to change. We have to change. Pre-order meal, that's a good way to minimizing the food waste. Pre-order meal. I encourage all of you to order pre-order meal, because one passenger, if you not pre-order, we have to bring in more food in order to cater with your choice. That means waste. A lot of waste after landing. I saw by myself, big pack of bread was unused. So that's a waste. So this is briefly how Thai Airways moving on the ESG. Yep.
Thank you ค่ะ and คุณ Bills given minor extensive operation in Europe where those sustainability is well established priority. How are you working to replicate the best practices from Europe into other markets, including here in Thailand as well? And are you seeing any commercial return on those efforts?
Yes, most certainly. I think while for sure many tourists today feel they're being gouged under the claim of sustainability, and I don't believe they do want to pay more for sustainable in hotels or in airlines or anything. But what we do find is that by being more responsible, being more sustainable, definitely people favor those companies that adhere to that. We, for example, have the biggest part of our footprint as a global company is in Europe. Europe has very strict conditions in respect of environmental and social requirements, and so we abide by those in Europe, and we've also brought those to Asia and around our other Middle East and other countries, and we adhere to the very highest standards. But we also find ways to encourage tourists to help us in our strive. We have what we call a dollar for deeds program. So a guest is asked to voluntarily, if they agree, we add $1 to the room night stay, and we match that $1 with another $1 from ourselves. And we use that money purely for the communities and the environments where we operate. So in the Maldives, we help to sustain coral. In the northern part of Thailand, we help to look after domesticated elephants that are unemployed. In Phuket, we look after mangroves. So all of that is funded by our dollar for deeds, where we match what our customers put in. And we find that our customers are very generous, many of them giving more than is asked, and we tend to monitor that. But I think I would also raise the fact that we are very eco-conscious. We are seeing more bookings coming from people that respond to that story and to the truth of the matter that as a company we are eco-conscious. We are focused towards achieving the net zero by 2050, and we will achieve that. We measure our hotels on a monthly basis around the globe. We provide a report which is larger than our financial report on our environmental contributions and what we're doing for the environment. And we will continue to play, we believe, a leading role among the hotel sector and the hospitality sector in trying to move awareness as well as get following for trying to be a more good citizen when it comes to looking after the environment, looking after our people, and also becoming a more sustainable company in the process.
Thank you, Ha. And I think now it's time to address one of the big questions on investor amount. Where are the opportunities for growth in Thailand tourism? So I would like to ask Kun Chai. Thai's airway turnaround is now back in motion. As the investor perspective, what should be tracking as the key milestone for Thai over the next 12 to 18 years? And what could define the next chapter of the growth cycle for Thai Airways?
As I said earlier, we design our fleet together with the market. We divide into 3 phases. The first phase, we already accomplished the 20 of Airbus 320, which we absorbing from Thai Smile. Already finished the refurbish the cabin. We put the business class, the first 3 rows will be business class, and that means 12 business class passenger. The rest will be the economy. Why? Because as this is our strategy. We carry passenger from the long haul passenger, connecting flying business class, and then connecting to the narrow body, which will be carry them to the end destination. But in the past, we don't have the same seat configuration. Then business class connect to small narrow body, no business class. Then we decided investing for the seamless transfer by using the same class of service. That's the first phase that we already finished. And also we putting the in-flight entertainment by using the wireless IFV. You can bring your own device and watching the entertainment, movie and music by yourself using your AirPod, your BYOD, and the passenger can enjoy the short flight by using that. The medium term, not very medium. Actually, in this November, we will receiving the first brand new Airbus 321 Neo, which are the same family as the first one. The first 2 will be delivered by end of this year. Next year will be another 15 of them. That's with the brand new product inside. It will be fully lie flat business class. That aircraft will using a little bit longer, 4, 5, 6 hours for this region. This aircraft can fly up to south of Japan and every city in China, every city in India, every city in ASEAN. This will be strengthening our network to gather all the passengers throughout both intercon and regional route by have the same, very much the same product throughout the journey. The midterm, we will retrofit Boeing 777-300ER, the old aircraft, but we will retrofit all of them, 14 of them, putting new seating, business class, premium economy, and economy. That means in the future for the long haul, we will have 1 class more, which is the premium economy. That's how we can capitalizing from the higher yield market, which that's a trend of the industry anyway. That's a medium term. Long term, we will receiving another at least 45, actually 50 something of the new production aircraft coming in, which already, I think most of you know already. That will be Boeing 787. That will be the same product as 777 retrofit. That means for the long haul aircraft, wide body aircraft, will be the same product. At least 44 of them. That's a big change for Thai Airways. Especially the wide body aircraft, I think we will be second to none. The product will be very competitive to top airline in the world, which I cannot release now because it's about 95% ready, but it's have to fine-tune a bit on the mood and tone in the aircraft. But structurally, it's already designed, some design a bit, which will be released very soon. I think that's the way how we structure our company to be in the future, the next 1 year or 18 months from now. Yep. And also the digital, about the digital, we improve a lot in the digital side. For example, website, web sale, mobile application, which just launched a month ago. And for mobile application, it will be relaunched again in September, which next month, the native mobile application. What does it mean? It means that passenger can manage yourself. In the past, when you want to claim mile or refund mile, using mile to buy the tickets, you have to go to the Thai Airways office. Not anymore. You can refund you can reclaim your miles by yourself through websites, and you'll be able to see the availability of the seat on every flight every day. So passenger can manage their travel plan by themselves. So that will be easier. The payment channel, it will be more by credit card, by using the not a Thai application, PromptPay, you can use it. So that's how Thai Airways try to improve the accessibility to the customer. Yeah.
Thank you, Ka. And Kun Bills, as a global hotel operator, how you prioritize your expansions, and could you share on a bit or more on the capex cycle, what it's going to look like over the next 3 to 5 years, and amongst your diversified portfolio, which area that you're seeing the highest return of investment?
I think first and foremost, we see expansion. We're very focused on growth right now. We've just announced our first hotel in Japan, our first hotel in Singapore, our first hotel in Greece, and we're constantly expanding. But up till now, we've been very much an asset-heavy company, as we've tended to own the vast majority of our hotels globally. Today, we're focused primarily on what we call asset-light expansion. So we're doing a lot of hotel management only and franchising. This will result in definitely increasing our return on investment and our return on equity for our shareholders. So this is a major change for us. And one of the things I should point out that is that by being a very sustainable company, we've been very lucky in receiving a number of very low-cost green bonds, which have helped us with our expansion. But we will never be a totally asset-light company, nor will we be totally asset-heavy as we are. We will continue with our policy, which is really about being asset-right. We will still tend to make investments in places where we see a very high return. We have today 9 hotels in the Maldives, many of which we own. We still own many of our hotels here in Thailand. We own many of our hotels in Australia and throughout Asia. We tend to be less focused on places like China. We have no equity in China. We have no equity in the Middle East. Our main focus is where we see the highest returns. We have a large portfolio in Africa. We're continuing to expand in Africa. So these are some of the areas that we see where we're growing and where the focus will be. We also have a number of residential projects. And these are projects not that we do, but they're branded residential. So you'll find that we have in Dubai, we have Avani residences for which we get a royalty and a branding fee. And these are not our assets. So all of these residential projects that you see around the world are generally asset light for us, not asset heavy. So that's another new part of the whole growth program for us. And I think that you'll see the results of that very soon in the results of this year.
Thank you, Ha. And Kun Damien, Agoda has been long a leader for online traveling platform in Thailand. So the simple question for you is that what you seeing as the biggest growth for Agoda in Thailand, and how you stay ahead of the competition given we see also seeing other competitors enter into the market?
Maybe one of the biggest opportunity for us in Thailand and in the region is the rise of international travel. And I think one of the key, we're talking about countries competing with each other to attract more tourists. And one of the key lever, one of the magic weapon countries have is visa policy. We're lucky to be in Thailand and very proud to say that Thailand, one of the first countries post-COVID to welcome back Chinese and Indian tourists visa-free. And we saw huge impact on numbers. Still to this date, India is growing 33% year on year when it comes to searches for Indian travelers wanting to come to Thailand. But the competition is heating up. We see Malaysia adopting similar measures. And we see that Chinese tourists, unlike Thailand, are actually increasing their interest into Malaysia and Vietnam. And Vietnam also is not joining the gang of countries which are more easily accessible and is growing 78% year on year when it comes to interest of inbound traveler into the destination. So as a result, as international travelers have a lot more needs in terms of customer support, one of the opportunities that we have seen is to improve the service we are giving to our customers and do it in an efficient and scalable manner. And that's where AI is one of the key sources and one of the key strategies that we are using. We are a tech-first company. We have about 1,500 engineers here in Thailand. I think we are probably the biggest tech company in Thailand. And we're investing a lot in AI. We're developing on top of the model, accessible to everybody. But we are developing our own solution so that we can serve more customers in better ways. So for example, for customer service, we developed our own Copilot suites of tools that help agents spend more time with the customer and less time in the back end trying to fix things, or less time in the back end trying to understand what the customer wants. We are seeing great efficiency gain, above 30% year on year. Our team is getting more efficient, while the NPS continue to increase. So I think we are lucky to be here in Thailand, where there is a lot of great engineers, and we will continue to fight off the competition, invest in our tech to make sure that we keep the edge and we keep servicing the customer better.
Thank you, Ha. And I think we already know about the growth. So, but like every journey, there will always be challenges along the way. So, in this final session, I want to highlight their key challenges from their operator perspective. So, to start, let's hear from Kun Bill. And for Kun Bill, would you mind to sharing any impact on like Thailand, Cambodia border conflicts on your business? Thank you.
Well, certainly. I think, for me, we are very alarmed because of the drop in tourist arrivals this year. We continue to be concerned about the drop in Chinese travel to Thailand. And one of the things that's happening, obviously, is we see geopolitical tensions all over the world. We see them in Ukraine with Russia and the EU. We see them in, Palestine, Lebanon, Jerusalem, all of the various tensions that are there. We've seen the skirmish between Pakistan and India, and now most recently we have the skirmishes I hesitate to call it a war between Thailand and Cambodia, but this is having a huge negative impact, not only on Thailand, which has a huge investment in Cambodia. The private sector of Thailand has invested well over 50 billion baht in equity investments in Cambodia. But today there's also a growing anti-Thai sentiment in Cambodia, and it's important to try to resolve this. It's also discouraging some long-haul travel that comes through Thailand to get to Cambodia. And Cambodia has been a very powerful tourism tool for the benefit of Thailand, because virtually all those travelers have to come through Thailand to connect with airlines to Siem Reap and other Cambodian destinations. The disruption at the border of closing the border crossings has meant that all logistics have to go through Vietnam. So we're shipping goods to Vietnam in order to get them to restaurants or retail stores, whether it be 7-Eleven or Pizza Company. And we have companies, other Thai companies, large companies like PTT, which are seeing the impact on their operations in Cambodia. And this will have a ripple effect on Thailand. We've already seen the impact of foreign investment leaving Thailand, leaving the stock exchange, and we need to curb this. And this is only curbed through political stability. And right now, Thailand gives the appearance of having very strong political instability and very strong tensions within the region, primarily with Cambodia. And it's in the interests of all parties to bring this about peacefully as quickly as possible so as not to impact the economy any further. But I can't overemphasize that the full impact of this is not yet being measured, but it will start to be hurtful for all of Thai business in the third quarter of this year if things are not resolved quickly. So I think that's certainly one of the biggest challenges that we see. You know, we always run into the challenges of talent to expand as we have. We have now almost 600 hotels around the world. We hope to add another 400 in the next 4 years. So we're proposing to nearly double our size, so that brings a lot of challenges. But probably the biggest challenge today that affects us all is the geopolitical tensions and the political instability that we see. You know, it's one thing to have wars, it's another thing then to have trade wars. We've seen a bit of recovery following Trump's new tariffs, but still this is having an impact on business. And whilst we still project a very strong performance this year, it's not without very strong challenges coming from these aspects.
Thank you, Ka. And Kun Damien, do you have any things on the sharing that you would like to highlight?
Of course. I think the challenge, as always, is also an opportunity, but one of the challenges that we see is that the customer today are a lot more diverse than the travelers of maybe 15, 20 years ago. Gone are the day where you fly 10 hours and sit by the pool for a week and go back home. So today, people want to explore. They want to go deep into a destination. They want to learn about the culture, as Bill highlighted in his introduction. What it means is that people are really hungry for information. That means that if you are not able to serve them this information, there is a risk of disruption. That's why we are investing a lot in different areas into serving better information to the customer. Here as well, AI is of great support. We have invested a lot in the last few years around serving more information to the customer. It started, of course, with destination guide. It's extremely easy now to produce valuable and precise destination guide, translate them in many languages to help the customer make a better choice when they plan their trip. Today we see that customers are spending a lot more time planning a trip than they used to 20 years ago when they would just visit a travel agent and say, hey, what do you recommend for me this year? They are a lot more invested into the process. So we want to serve them the right information. Destination guides, through advertising, we see a lot of different applications as well. We developed recently a property bot, a chatbot on the property page, which helps people ask questions about a specific hotel. So they will look at a hotel, and sometimes it's not easy to find all the information about the hotel, or they want to know what the reviews are saying. And using the chatbot, they can ask a question about the property and get the answer in real time. We saw huge impact on conversion, and we see that people that are using that tool are, of course, more likely to book. We are now moving this chatbot on different steps of the navigation, up the funnel and down the funnel, also seeing great impact. And I think the big challenge, which I think everybody in the industry is investing, but we're investing as well, is creating this assistant that people can talk to plan their trip, from planning to actually leaving the trip to post-travel. We are investing a lot as well in this area, and the dream is to recreate the relationship that customer had maybe 20, 25 years ago with the travel agents, but augment it with someone who has been all over the world. 25 years ago, when we visited our travel agent and asked them, hey, where should I go? This travel agent may be very well traveled, but he wouldn't know the world, like an LLM today or OpenAI would. So we are really trying to move that in front of the customer. It's challenging. I don't think anyone is doing it well today, but I believe that the company that will do it well in the future will have an edge over the others.
Thank you. And last but not least, for Kunshai, do you have anything to highlight in this point?
Actually, the most challenging issue now is the global supply chain disruption, especially about the aircraft concern. You know, the one aircraft consists of 100,000 of parts in the aircraft, and all of them have to be certified. You cannot find in the market, in the common market anyway. You have to get it from the certified OEM. So during the pandemics, all most of them already restructuring, lay off staff, closing down the company. Then we come back, then the supply chain in any stage, they have to rebuild their capability. They have to rehiring, recruitment, the engineer to come in, but it takes time. Once the workforce already left the industry, they're doing the other jobs. They don't want to come back. So then they have to start from zero. It takes time to training those employees to be able to perform the job. I think that's the most challenging issue for not only for Thai Airways, but for the whole industry. You may see that why the ticket price was so high. That's because we don't have a capacity. Demand was there, but airline don't have enough capacity to catch or to serving those demand. We are working on it as a industry level, not only Thai Airways. Second challenge is, especially for Thailand, is the workforce, qualified workforce. For the airline, you need some certain type of people, some certain qualified skill, which I think Thailand still lack on those. And for Thai Airways, we know that that's problem. Then we think that we have to jump into the input of the people. For example, before they going to the vocational school, then we will screening first, whether they are qualified or not, before they going to the vocational school. Then anyone qualified, we will give them the scholarship, free study, to ensure that we will get those qualified people into the system. After they finish, after they graduate, then we hiring them as a Thai Airways, the employee. Then, because we cannot wait for the education system for Thailand to change. Otherwise, we not be able to expand our business. Same thing to pilots. Right now, we just hiring about 100 new student pilot, and we already send them to the flying school, which will be they can fly after 2 years. That will take time, but we are financing them also to learn and to train. After that, we will get a qualified personnel I think those are the two challenges. About the tariff, I think we can turn the critical into opportunity. And it's already shown in the traffic, because the traffic from European city to US declining, from Canada to US declining. So where the European flying to take a vacation or to investing in the new business, then it's Far East, this area, which representing in our traffic. Right now, European route, now this quarter is about 90% plus. That means it's growing bigger than the past. This is an opportunity in the crisis. The people still want to travel, but tariff blocking them to travel into US, then I think this area is an opportunity to this area, how we can grab those opportunities. And I think most of them are the high yield passenger and the high spending tourists and also the businessmen.
I think we're all waiting also for the new fleet to arrive, because one of the things that's affected us most seriously is the decline in direct travel from Europe to Thailand, where we used to have many frequent flights when we had the full capacity prior to COVID. And that's really had a serious effect, because now most of our tourists must travel through the Middle East in order to get to Thailand. There's so few long-haul direct flights now that this has really been a handicap in further growing and taking advantage of this opportunity that now exists. So from our side, we support fully the plans that Thai International has to improve their fleet and be able to challenge that and be able to knock out a little bit of the Middle East, which is becoming the stopping point for everything. And they're constantly incurring incentives to lure tourists to remain in the Middle East rather than coming any further. And when they do come further, they've already spent a lot of money in the Middle East.
All right, thank you, Kas. So I think we got a few minutes, so we may take one question from the floor, just in case there are any.
Thank you for your insight. Being industry leader in the tourism, what would be your recommendation for the Thai government? What would be the key priorities for the Thai government to focus on so that Thailand recover, not only recover, but also gain stronger competitive edge in the next 5 years in the global tourism industry?
Well, maybe I can speak first for that. I think one of the things that we need desperately is political and economic stability here. We clearly need to resolve the differences that we have with Cambodia in a peaceful manner as fast as possible. This will have a huge impact. In addition, we have to really tread very carefully with all of the other challenges that we have domestically, politically, with elections and everything else that may be forthcoming, because it portrays a country that's not as stable as we know we are and we must become. So stability and resolving conflicts quickly and allowing the business opportunity and the business companies to be able to operate successfully so that they can continue to drive the economy, both from tourism as well as from trade and all other aspects, which will provide the stability that Thailand needs.
Thank you.
Actually, I just came back from China last Sunday from Shanghai. Oh, it's very busy city, very busy. I didn't see the economics turmoil in China. I think the rest of the market, I think, is still okay, still in the good figure, except China. Are you agree?
And China seems to be not traveling because of safety.
But I think I can notice from, and I have a lot of discussion with Chinese partners and colleagues. They're still not very confident in safety. I think if I would like to ask that how we can make sure or give them the confidence that your travel to Thailand will be safe. I think that's the main issue for the short term. And also if you still not correct or make them confident, then it will be in effect in the longer term. Flight from our flight from China, right now we fly to 5 cities in China, 42 flight weekly. Very good cabin factor, but most of them are the connecting passenger, not the terminating in Thailand. That means the economy is still not bad, still okay. That means that's why a lot of traveler going out from China, but not to Thailand, to other place. You can notice from the low-cost carrier, they are point to point. That's a big impact. No, very few group tour from China to Thailand, but the rest to other city is still okay. I think we have to pinpoint the problem and give them the confidence about the safety.
Maybe just hard to argue that stability and security are definitely very, very important for the Thai economy in general and tourism in particular. I think maybe more of a mid to long-term view. I think investment in infrastructure when it comes to outside of the main tourism destination, because we see people are more and more keen to go places which are not, most travelers have been to Thailand once or twice, so they want to go deeper into the country, but then it's very difficult, it's complicated, it takes a lot of time. So I think if the government can make it easier to go to certain places from Bangkok or the other international airports, then it will help a lot to have more tourists, also in a sustainable manner, because the last thing you want is all the tourism focusing on a couple of spots, and that's why usually you have, as you can see in other places like Barcelona, for example, adverse reaction from the local population, right? So you want to be able to have more tourists in more places, and that provides a better experience, more authentic, more contact with the local population, and just a better outcome for the welcoming country and the tourist as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we now come to the end of the session. So I would like to sincerely thank you, our distinguished panelists, for their insight sharing with us today. And thank you all for joining our session. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a very fascinating session. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our session on Beyond Recovery, transforming Thailand's tourism for a sustainable and high-value future. Over the past hour, we have heard a thought-provoking perspective on how Thailand can redefine its tourism industry, moving beyond short-term recovery and shaping a sustainable high-value future for one of our nation's vital economic sector. Our panelists highlighted the opportunities and challenges ahead as Thailand works to position itself as one of the global leaders in tourism. We explore strategies for attracting Thai-quality travelers, creating unique, value-driven experience, and ensuring the long-term competitiveness of the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next session, how Thailand is transforming its supply chain with digital innovation, healthcare, and advanced therapeutic medicine, potential new S-curve for Thailand's healthcare industry. We are privileged to welcome individuals who have played a pivotal role in driving innovation and shaping the future of healthcare, and they will share with us their insights. We have Executive Committee of Bangkok Dusit Medical Services, Dr. Kongkiat Ketpet, CEO of RISE and Managing Partner of CX Ventures, Dr. Kit Supachai Pachariyanon. Vice Dean for Research and Innovation, Faculty of Medicine Sriraj Hospital, Mahidol University, Professor Dr. Sid Sathorn Sumethi, and Dr. Nam Tantuwanit, Senior Advisor Healthcare Strategy and Transactions, EY Platinum will be our moderator for this session. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome all the panelists and moderator on the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sawadee krap, and thank you very much for joining us for this exciting panel discussion on health tech and advanced therapeutics, a potential new S-curve for Thailand's healthcare industry. I think we would all agree that Thailand's healthcare sector has been on a remarkable journey over the past few decades, from establishing itself as a global leader in preventive population health, having the region's first universal healthcare public system, to having world-class private medical networks, providing best-in-class medical care and pioneering medical tourism, which has been an economic boom for Thailand, and having impressive best world-class medical institutions as well. But undoubtedly we face challenges, perhaps because of these excellent care we've been providing. We are having increases in non-communicable diseases, an aged population, unavoidable medical inflation leading to costs of pressures on costs of healthcare, human capital shortages, which is evident from all industries from what we've heard today, but especially more prevalent in our industry, especially post-COVID, and intense competition from our neighbours for the lucrative medical tourists. So today the question is, can some of these challenges be overcome by adoption of new health technology, AI, and advanced therapeutics? And more so, can some of these solutions be homegrown and adopted and potentially be exported overseas and be the catalyst for the next S-curve for Thailand's healthcare industry? To explore this, we're very lucky to have with us three remarkable panelists, all doctors, all deeply involved in research and innovation. And I'll just hand over to each of the panelists now to please briefly introduce themselves and tell us all what's the one thing that excites you most about healthcare innovation right now. Please, I'll start with Ajahn Kongkiat Krap.
สวัสดีครับ ก้องเกียรติเกตเพชร I'm the CEO of Bangkok Health Group number 3 and number 6, which is in the eastern part of Thailand and in the south Thailand. So for the first round, for me, I think in terms of perspective to look at the healthcare industry in Thailand, I think it's two components. One is our doctor and medical personnel. We have a very high competency. Many of us, like Professor said, graduate from abroad. And with this competency, and we keep update in terms of knowledge and skill all the time. So it's bring us to a level of expertise in medical service. And another unique thing that I found when I travel around, Thai medical personnel, we have high compassionate. When we care, it means we really care. We not just, this is my duty. 4 p.m., that's it. So this community and compassionate is working together very well in this context. And it bring us to the frontier of the healthcare service in this region and maybe in the world. It's like a landmark for the healthcare service in the world also. So this is my reflection on the healthcare industry of Thailand I still have some big hope on that, that we can leverage on this for the future.
Thank you, Kapajan. Maybe next, Dr. Kid. So, brief introduction, and then what, in your perspective, has led to the success of the healthcare industry in Thailand up to this point?
Right. My name is Kit Prachayanon. I'm wearing two hats. So one is the co-founder of RISE, which is consulting firm helping large corporate doing crazy things. Our mission is to help raise 1% of GDP for Thailand and Southeast Asia. So I think our country needs more than that right now. 1% is not enough anymore. And on the other hand, for RISE, we also incubating like thousands of startups in the past 8-9 years. So we working with a lot of startups globally. On the other hand, I'm also running the fund called CX Venture, which is the deep tech fund investing in early stage startup globally, mostly in the US, but then trying to bring this technology to help our country. And maybe the first question that Dr. Nam asked about what I'm exciting the most right now, drawing from the word from Mr. Demis Hanabas, who is the CEO of Google DeepMind, right? He said everything in healthcare in the next 12 months is going to be accelerating so fast. So you never seen something like this before, which means drug discovery. In the past, it would take like 5 years in order to develop the molecule until you be able to do the clinical trial. Today, all of that shortened into only 12 months. So that's kind of like something that I'm really excited about. And just to follow up with another question on the Thailand scene right now, I think we super aligned with Dr. Kongkiat that we have everything here that we're ready to explore in terms of healthcare. We have great doctors. We have the first JCI accredited hospital, the first one, and also 62 hospitals already accredited, right? So I think we are ready, but then we discuss more like why it's not happening right now, just yet.
I think it might be even more than 70 now in Thailand that are JCI accredited. Yes, next, Professor Sitkap, I'll ask the same question to you. What's most exciting for you right now, and from your public healthcare perspective, what's led to the success of our industry so far?
Thank you, Dr. Nam. So my background, I'm a Vice Dean for Research and Innovation for the Faculty of Medicine, Sriraj Hospital. So one of the largest medical center in Southeast Asia, and certainly the biggest medical school in Thailand. So my role is to overseeing the research support and also try to put together the strategies and policy to drive our research and innovation for our researchers, faculty, staff, to drive Sriraj to become the world-class medical institute, at least, top 100 medical school in the next 5 to 10 years. So I'm still practicing medicine. I'm a neurologist by training, so I still see patients and also do research and innovation myself, try to develop, diagnosis and diagnostic tools and also therapeutic modalities for cancer, particularly for brain cancer, which is my, focus. So in terms of what are exciting about now in the medical field, in the health technology and also medicine, I think two things. First is AI that currently transforming the way we work, education, research, and also clinical services. And the second thing is, cell and gene therapy, which is, the other name is Advanced Therapy Medicinal Product, or we call, in short, ATMP. And as some of you may know, that at least 20 cell and gene therapy products have been approved by the US FDA since 2017 until now. And the number keep increasing, either indication or the new gene therapy and cell therapy products. So in Thailand, we're working towards that. So hopefully this session, we will learn more about that and we get more investment on these so that it will push us to the next S-curve of the medical industry. So, thank you.
Thank you very much ครับ Dr. Sid อาจารย์ก้องเกียรติครับ Yes you left us hanging before you said you have some hope we have a good foundation but just in your view what's missing at the moment ครับ
I'm so glad that I heard that our leading your medical school would like to move on AI and gene and cell therapy. For me, I foresee the healthcare in Thailand is made like an automobile industry. We once have renowned ourselves as the Detroit of the Asia. But we look at the Detroit in US, now it's empty city. So it's also that for me, as a doctor, I have a very good hand. So I provide care to the patient. But the rest out of my hand, I have to buy everything. Even the knife, the suture, the IV, all the things that I have to import. So it means that if I want to leverage the outcome of the patient, I have to buy more. I have to import more. But in the era of AI and gene and cell therapy, I think now we are in the ascending of the curve. Everyone in the world is just the same start. And the nice thing is the cost to leverage is low enough. It's not the big things and like $1 billion trying to invest. So it means that if we can catch up this ascending curve, we can have a chance to get the new S-curve of healthcare service. Another thing is, as I heard that a lot of doctor, engineer, and even the AI engineer, Thai team is very good. I just met one of PhD who come from Google Health, Voodoo Medjema, who is in the team at Google doing that. And he decided to throw away his money and come back to Thailand. And he want to make Thailand great again. Now he works in Sriraj Hospital. So it means that we will have a new team to make Thailand great again and again.
That's great to hear ครับอาจารย์ So I guess to summarize your point is we've been known as great providers of healthcare but perhaps the tools that we've needed to care for our patients we've had to import but perhaps the seeds or the foundations are already here and with the AI and adoption of technology that can be accelerated and it's a level playing field so that we may not necessarily need to be importing everything but be able to generate some of these solutions homegrown. And I think you've got some great examples, Professor Sid, especially in Sriraj, which is one of at the forefront of innovation and research, and actually implementing that into routine for patient care. Perhaps I'll throw to you next to explain more about this.
Sure. Thank you. Can I have my slide, please?
Slide, please.
Okay, so this one. Okay, so Sriraj Hospital, Faculty of Medicine or Sriraj Medical School, we are part of Mahidol University, as you know, and we are, health science university. So our strategic innovations for the whole university, involve the areas concerning health. And as you can see here, from drugs, from cell therapies, biologics, vaccine, to diagnostic medical device, precision medicine, genomics, AI, so on and so forth, and also food for health as well. And this is actually the photo of the research building on the left, as you can see here, next to the private wing, so-called Sriraj Maharaj Government Hospital. So this research building is 12-story building dedicated for research and innovation activities. And for flagship innovations at Sriraj Hospital, I would like to show you 4 of them today. First is the AI. Second is the mobile stroke unit. Third is genomics and other omics technology and precision medicine. And the last one, but not least, is the cell and gene therapy or ATMP. So the story of AI in medicine at Sriraj actually started back 6-7 years ago when we started working with a startup company, a Thai startup company called Perceptra. And actually, they were developing AI algorithm to try to read the radiology images. And since we work with them, now we train this AI with more than million samples. And now we can use this with accuracy of more than 90% and is under registration for Thai innovation list, and which is gonna go in turn covered by the universal health coverage. And this technology has been licensed to BDMS and to other hospitals in Thailand, and also now is gonna go to public hospitals as well. So this year we are setting up a new medical AI center that focusing on AI in radiology images like this. We try to train them to learn how to detect breast cancer, to detect brain bleeding from the CT scan, AI pathology to better characterize the sample that we do take out from the patient, like tissue tumors. And actually we can train AI to subcategorize or subclassify of the tumor entity according to the molecular classification as well. And AI in clinical practice ranging from diagnosis, treatment decision supports, and also the one that's probably going to help a lot of us here in Thailand is the ambient scribing, because the busy schedule, the large number of patients we have to see each session. So if we have this technology to help us and put it into electronic health record, that would be a very good start for patient care and also for research in the future as well. So the second innovation that I want to show you is the mobile stroke unit. So this actually started approximately 5 to 7 years ago as well. So our neurologist, stroke neurologist, Professor Yong Chai in the picture, as you can see here. So he has an idea that because of traffic is bad in Bangkok, so a lot of our patients cannot come to the hospital in time to get the treatment for stroke, the blood vessel blockages in the brain that cause disability and mortality in patients. So we built this truck in collaboration with Faculty of Engineering, Mahidol University, and we put a CT scan, as you can see in the picture in the middle lower panel. And we can go get the patient with suspected stroke on these truck, scan, and then send the images to neurologists. And then if it fits with stroke, we can give the thrombolytic agents, the drug, try to lyse the clot, or we can send the patient to the hospital sooner. And this been shown in our research that we reduce time to treatment by 50%, increase in rate of specific treatment for stroke about 3 times, and also 2-fold decrease in stroke-related disability. And these technologies been used, in several parts of the country, and now it's gonna be, used more number of hospitals, across Thailand. The third technology is about genomics. And multi-omics and precision medicine. As you can see here, so we have different layers of omics technology from gene, also called genomics. We have RNA, which is the part that from gene to protein in the cells, called transcriptomics, proteomics. metabolites in the cells or cellular chemicals in the cells called metabolomics, and phenomics, which is, shaping us that look like this. And at Sriraj, I think we have a luxury of talents in all the omics technology here. And we serve as a national cancer genome testing and interpretation center. So we get samples from all over the country to sequence, to know the gene abnormalities so that we can inform the right treatment to our patients. And this service has been up and running. And the top panel on the right, and we are a pioneer in this new technology, third generation sequencing or next generation sequencing. As you can see, these technologies is handheld. So basically we can sequence or do gene sequencing anywhere. This is so-called long read sequencing, and the picture that's shown here is the Oxford Nanopore technology. And we are a center of excellence for Oxford Nanopore in Thailand. So, it has implication for cancer, infections, and drug allergies. And this is important, for example, drug allergies. So we can test the drug when we are healthy like this. And we have a passport for ourselves that what kind of drugs that we have a risk to be allergic to. And this can be, kept with you, in your phone, in your pocket. And when you go to the hospital, you can tell the doctors, here's the list that the drug that, we should not be given. And this technology has been, licensed and collaborate with BDMS group, the N-Health group, so that will increase the access of these technologies to people. Cell and gene therapy are ATMPs. So at Sriraj, we have different research surrounding these cell and gene therapies. As you can see on the bottom left, we have people that work in induced pluripotent stem cells, mesenchymal stem cells, different kind of stem cells, and also some blood cells that we try to help with the disease, for example, limb ischemia, degenerative arthritis, diabetes, eye injury, and try to use this stem cell to make a blood product so that we won't have shortage of blood, when the donation is less. CAR T cells and immunotherapy. As you know, this has been a Nobel, Prize technology, and CAR T cells has been used to treat blood malignancy, blood cancer, since 2017. First, it's approved in the US, and now several countries around the world. And the price tag for commercially available now is about 15 to 16 million baht per case. So it's really, really expensive. So there's an urgent unmet need for us here in Thailand as a, researcher in medical institute, in medical school, try to develop our own, CAR T cells and other immunotherapy to attack the cancer. So, and we have the program that are working on, different type of these CAR T cells. The good thing is that we have the fourth and fifth generation CAR T cells. Currently in the market is second and third, which is associated with toxicities, but the fourth and fifth generation, hopefully it will be, will be associated with less toxicities and more efficacy. So I think I'll end with that about our flagship innovations.
Thanks very much, Professor Sid, and that's so nice to hear and so reassuring that some of these technologies are becoming within reach of the local population. I remember when I was running Bumrungrad 12 years ago that pharmacogenomics, you had to send the sample to the US, and it was just simply unaffordable, but now it's available to everyone. Ajahn Kongkiat, maybe I'll throw to you. Maybe the impression is that in a public teaching hospital, implementation of new research into routine practice may seem easier. But from your perspective, in a private hospital setting, is that the case? Or is there, I heard Professor Sid say a number of times that there's been some collaboration already. So how difficult or how easy is it for you to adopt new research and then implement it into your routine practice?
Thank you for the question. I think as Dr. Sid mentioned about the frontier of the research that allow us to bring the advanced technology to our patient. So BDMS set our role clearly. This is a professor. I am not a professor. So I am a dumb doctor. So the best way to be the dumb doctor, good enough to serve the patient, we have to work with the professor. So BDMS set the role that we set the startup, health tech startup investment fund, which is invest only Thai health tech startup. So it means that all the good things from your university, medical school, and research bench, BDMS will look for and invest on that. To invest on this, it's not only, we do not count about the return on investment. We think about how we can create the ecosystem and adoption. So it means when we invest, we put skin in the game. So BDMS itself will be the first adopter. We work with the Percepta, work with the genomic team, feedback how from the bench can scale to the business. So it can bring a sustain both sides. I just come back from the US and I heard about gene and cell therapy for thalassemia. It costs $3 million US. In Thailand, we have children who have thalassemia. It's about 600,000. So I asked the professor in Oregon Health Science University why this treatment is so expensive. He said it's not expensive because of the cost of production. The pharmaceutical company calculate the price from the year added. So it means I treat 6 years old child. If he live long, 60 years old, drug company would like to get the share of the life that he can span. So it means if we cannot have the frontier research from university and as a private sector, we don't support to make it happen, we cannot access to this kind of treatment forever because it's too much for us to pay for that. So I think this is the right time that we can work along with each other and support this ecosystem to grow in our Thailand. So that is the thing that I think BDMS would like to play in this part to support, make it happen.
Thanks for that, Kap. Good to know that there's cross-collaboration and investment and that some of these technologies, I guess you can bring it to patients in the private sector at a more affordable cost and more timely manner rather than waiting for it to be imported. Dr. Kit, so from your perspective, what are the barriers that you've seen in translating Thai medical research into commercially viable products, I guess, if you look at it that way?
All right, thanks. Let's bring up my slide, please. Yeah, and before we diving into the challenges and barrier that I'm talking about the life science startup, right? I just want to kind of like to really say appreciation for kind of like Sriraj Hospital, the frontier technologies that the medical school been developing, right? And also like Dr. Kongkiat and BDMS also investing in a Thai local startup. This is great. But if we try to zoom it out, putting my investor hat on, right? And then we say, okay, if we want to make Thailand great again, we might not, it's not enough to kind of like just looking at the local technology. Just like what Dr. Sid just said, we also sometimes licensing technology from Oxford Nanopore, kind of like couple company, right? So when we want to make Thailand great again in terms of healthcare, I think if we zoom out, We want to see how we be able to learn from the others, learn from abroad, right? Yeah, because we say we cannot build everything and developing everything here in Thailand, right? And when we're looking at how we be able to do that, right? Take example of company called Samsung, right? So Samsung, today there's a world-leading mobile phone company developing many AI and also multiple patent, right? But the first thing that Samsung did 50 years ago, they bought a patent from Japanese company to get started. So what I thought, using that story, Thailand probably, if we want to become the medical hub of the world, right, building the medical tourism industry and also growing in terms of the tourism itself, right? So we need to kind of like working with a global kind of like technology company, startup per se, right? And if you look at starting from the startup from outside Thailand, what are the barriers from the foreign startup if they want to tap into Thai market and collaborating with kind of like the private hospital, public hospital? First thing that they're gonna see and are gonna face the challenge is first is all about the regulatory. That I think how we be able to speed things up, right? Yeah, most of the medical device or new drugs or new medicine, they take years in order to pass through those, right? And the second thing is, after they come in, they get FDA approved already. Probably they also need to find a local partner, which often in time, maybe they can't find it. They can't find one that's very suitable for them, understand the technology, be able to implement, having the distribution network. Probably they need to come to BDMS for help, right? So that's the second part. And also the third part about the pilot. Before they get the FDA approval, sometimes they might need to do clinical trial, clinical research, kind of like outsourcing organization, how we be able to helping them getting those quickly. So that's a challenge that foreign tech company, especially in healthcare, facing today. When we shifting the gear to Thai, right? So Thai startup or they also facing different challenges. First, lack of funding. Why? Because right now, if we're asking from the funding from the government, don't compare us to kind of like Singapore or such, right? So Thai startup get around 100,000 US, or probably 150,000 US. Yeah, while from the government, from the government grants or support from the government, right? Or maybe angel investor. But in general, startup need probably 500,000 or $1 million US in order to get started. So lack of funding is challenging for Thai startup. Most of the funding, 70% of these startup funding go to Singapore and Indonesia, right? Second, after they get funding, maybe they manage to get funding, then they face another challenge, which is also they never been there, done that before, right? They never asking if any kind of like not a lot of Thai medical device, right? Maybe there's some, but not a lot, that get to sell globally, get US FDA approval. So they don't, not so many be able to do that, right? Because we don't know how to do that. So we need some shortcut. Yeah, so that's second challenge. And also the third challenge is that because of these kind of like regulatory plus the funding plus the ecosystem that is not super mature yet, many startups flock to other countries to set up. A country like in Singapore, probably somewhere in the US. So that's the challenge, right? But what we could learn from some example that we learned along the year that we try to help building this health tech ecosystem here in Thailand. This is one of the case study that I'd like to share. So 5 years ago, we met this company called Quinn, QVIN. So Quinn is the founders is a doctor from Harvard Medical School, dropped out. She's a woman. And her goal is very clear. She wants all the women doesn't need to draw the blood from the hospital anymore. Just use this simple menstrual pad that women throw away every month, right? They put the IP base, like intellectual property, a strip, in the number one, right? The woman after usage, they pull out the strip, put the strip in the envelope or the container in a number 2 and then mail it, or maybe using Grab to send it, whatever. Yeah. Then the next day or the day after, women get the result on their mobile, right? So this is kind of like the world first US FDA approved, to use menstrual pad, for diagnostic. Yeah, and even more, to make it more sense for Thailand. So in Thailand, so this company already get FDA approval and definitely working with who else? Like BDMS, right? So now you can, woman, number 1 cancer in women, everybody know, right? Is cervical cancer. If we ask like women, why you don't go to do pap smear every 5 years, whatever. The reason is because it's the stigma to kind of like go to pelvic examination and doing the pap smear. But with this kind of like menstrual pad, all the women doesn't need to do the pap smear with pelvic examination anymore, just using this pad. Yeah, so this is kind of like what I'm talking about, kind of like the innovation. Yeah, and that's also proof that the challenge, right, that those startups from the US, from Europe, they're facing right now is to find the partner, right, to kind of like solve on the regulatory, right, and also kind of like be able to do the pilot quickly. Yeah, and all of this, if they'd be able to do that, our people, like also university side, be able to learn. Yeah, what I really believe is that Thai people is very creative. So when we say this kind of solution, we might be able to think of something even more innovative, right? But we need to get started, and we need to solve all the barrier in order to get started.
Thank you, Dr. Kid. We might just move on. We've got to change gears a little bit. We've got a room full of investors here. So maybe continuing with you, Dr. Kid, give you a minute to have a drink. Is there enough volume in Thailand for serious investors to invest into some of these startups? Lack of funding is one of them, both in the private sector that you're seeing and perhaps later on for you too, Professor Sid, whether there's room for institutional investors, or what types of investors are ideally suited to invest into these startups? Is it only early stage venture capital? Is it private equity, corporate healthcare funds, strategic investors like BDMS? So maybe you first, Dr. Kid, and then Professor Sid.
Yeah, maybe I can follow up with that. First, maybe bring another slides up, right? So, yeah, before we talking about investor, and then I think we're lucky to have all the investor in the room today, right? So I think what we need to kind of like combine all the forces is how we be able to turn Thailand and build this opportunity as we need to kind of like make one thing, which is I call health innovation sandbox, right? So this sandbox should be able to solve all the pain that I just described earlier for both Thai startup, regional startup, and also global startup who would like to bring the technology here and also to serve the patient here, right? So that's, and definitely, I mean, in order to do that, I think we need to have a couple of people, definitely like investor, right? Institutional investor, right? The ecosystem, the hospital, private hospital, right? Also pharma company involved, right? So, and Thailand, we are the land of building the medical device. We have over 500 like the medical device manufacturing company, right? But most of them, I mean the top one basically, yeah, they're producing what? They're producing the glove, right? Medical glove, which is great, right? Building, getting more revenue coming to the country. But if we be able to add more innovation into that, this could be medical glove AI or whatever, right? So that's on the investor side. Yeah, apart from investor, I think we also need to improve on kind of like this incubator, accelerator, right? So because one of the challenge that I mentioned earlier, yeah, is that most of the startup, Thai startup in particular, they don't know how to file US FDA. We need to have the shortcut, right? And if we have this kind of like incubator, accelerator, we can bring the US startup, European startup, and then let them open up the market for them here, almost 60 million people here, right? But then, in return, we asking them to open up more, how you be able to file US FDA quickly, who is the patent lawyer that you talk to, so that Thai people, professor, medical doctor, PhD student, be able to get this shortcut and be able to grow fast, right? But not go alone, right? The third, we're talking about TTO and TLO, which is Technology Transfer Office or Technology Licensing Office, which is related to university. Because nowadays, I think like in Thailand, we don't have playbook just yet. The playbook, like why MIT, Harvard, Stanford, they be able to produce tons of technologies every single day? Because the first day that innovation happened in the university, they already know how much professor will get, how much entrepreneur will get, how much everybody, what going to be incentivize them to doing more, yeah, right? But in Thailand, what I learned from many university, right, is that everything is still, I call hip hop, which means it need kind of like some doctors talk or some professor talking to university licensing office and then disappear for a couple months, coming back, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. So we need to have this kind of like playbook, the template, right? Something that people can get started early on and quickly so that innovation can flourish quickly as well because money cannot wait, right? And the last thing is, yeah, we also need to connect to the world, which means we should do more collaboration, yeah, with other, like the other health sandbox in other part of the world. Today, we already have fintech sandbox. We already have digital asset sandbox. Why not health sandbox? That's what I really want to do. Yeah, and also really want to all the investors in the room to support this initiative.
Thank you, Kap. Maybe Professor Sid, from your viewpoint?
Sure. Can I have my last slide up, please? So I totally agree with Dr. Kit about the sandbox for innovation. And this is probably the way that we can, shorten the development time and also de-risk for the investment as well. And, but first I would like to show you that our ecosystem for research and innovations in Thailand is evolving. And also the regulatory regulation in terms of Thai FDA, they're also working hard right now. Try to defragment it and also less complicated kind of frameworks for drug and cell and gene therapy registration. So I'll show you, let's focus on the bottom half of these, BC diagram. So we have several, at the government level, Ministry of Higher Education and Science Technology, and also Ministry of Public Health. They have granting agencies, so government grants that provide to, each step of the technology readiness level for research and innovation. And what you can see from the, basic science research down to, national innovation agencies that help with the startup and commercialization. T-cells play a big part for the cell and gene therapy commercialization and also medical device. So it is something that we should know of the name. And for us as a medical school, so we try to drive innovation and entrepreneurship for our faculty members as well. But I have to admit that innovation is not in our blood. We just started doing research and innovation during the past 20 to 30 years, in contrast to, the Western world that's probably have a strong emphasis in research and innovation for a longer period of time than us. But what we're trying to do is try to, have the right management, have the right structure to support our, faculty and researchers. So at the university level, we have Institute of Innovation and Technology Management called INT. And at Sriraj Hospital itself, we have the EIC, which is Innovation Management Center, try to help our faculty to find industry partners, try to find government grant to do innovation. And for partnership, as you can see here, we partner with several world-leading universities such as Oxford, Glasgow, or Oregon State, Oregon Health and Science University, and also a local engineering university, top engineering university in Thailand, Vistec as well. And for industry side, we partner with several startups and also, healthcare industry, for example, BDMS, and also, medtech industry, pharmaceutical industry as well. So now, down at the bottom, what you can see here is kind of what we try to categorize our research and innovation into technology readiness level from TRL1, which is basic science, basic concept, and down to TRL9, which is product service launch. And, at TRL1, 2, 3 is, academia job, as, it's my job to have our researcher to work hard, try to come up with, good research and also a product. And then, for the industry collaboration, they probably come at TRL 7 to 9 when they know that this product is going to get to the market and they're going to make profit. But the thing that we face, the challenge all the time, not only Thailand but also other countries in the world, is the valley of death. As you can see here, which in the middle TRLs, TRL 4 to 6. From late preclinical development that, with proof of concept that it works in, cells, in animal models, and we start to do clinical research, clinical trials, and this is no man's land. So no one's want to invest in this because it's a bit risky, I would say. But now the government, with the reform of the granting agency landscape, as you can see in the middle, the yellow is PMUC. They provide grant for these TRLs type of product, TRL 4 to 6. But we need investment from industry, from startup to provide support. So what I would say that the investment that from the researcher perspective is that we need the investment in this mid TRLs for us to succeed.
So there is a need there for beyond government grants and private industry established players for investors from other sources. So that's very good to hear that a public teaching hospital can collaborate with private investors and drive this to its full potential. Ajahn Kongkiatครับ, so for investors looking to invest, say, in the Valley of Death, I guess it may be self-explanatory, the term, but what are some other risks that they have to think about before they invest into some of these earlier or mid-stage startups?
As you saw all the information that the professor said, showed to you, and also Dr. Kit tried to bring the picture. BDMS is a private entity. So when we look at this as a private company, we think about two things. One is the opportunity is there. The second is market is there or not. Okay, this is quite simple in terms of private entity. For healthcare, what do we look for is we found it's not only Thai people, but the people in this region, the number is about 100 million. If you are the friends of economists, they always say if the population is about 100 million, the economy can move, like Japan, Vietnam, even they have nothing, but it can move because the consumption is big enough. So I look for that in this region, the number of population who may need the healthcare now in the future is about 100 million. So the economy size is solvable, feasible. The second is I think Thailand is quite unique in terms of access to care. We have the National Health Security, who is take care of the whole people in Thailand. But the way that they provide the benefit to the Thai people, I think it's quite advanced. For example, Professor Manop just found that to treat the breast cancer wisely, effectively, you have to do gene test. A few months, NHSO announced the policy that one who got the breast cancer diagnosis need to do this test. But the rest of the world is a lot of barrier because cost, they have a lot of debate. So it means, I think, in healthcare perspective in Thailand, in terms of access to care, it still have opportunity to accelerate the new frontier, which is benefit to the patient. This is quite unique. I could not find. I talked to the professor in US, they keep complaining about the insurance, do not allowed to do this, not allowed to do this, not allowed to do that. But here is an opportunity. So with this, the size of population, which is the mindset of regulator, is allowed to get the new technology to adopt and accelerate. So it means it can accelerate and put the ecosystem is grow. So that's why VDMS think that this is still opportunity, and we would like to support to make it happen as a sandbox, as Dr. Kit mentioned.
Well, that's really nice to hear. We often paint the regulators in very negative light, as being the barrier for innovation. But it sounds like in Thailand here, when the right product is there, they're fully supportive and can be rolled out very quickly. Thank you, Kap. Dr. Kit, the question that's come up in every single panel today so far is the talent. Do we have enough talent in Thailand? And if not, what can we do about it to really foster this innovation?
Yeah, I think what be able to attract talent the most should be the ecosystem itself, right? Once we be able to develop the ecosystem that growing, exciting, so top talent will come back. Because if you're looking at the data right now, it's quite frightening because I just look at the data. People in my age, kind of like 40, 45, we have around 5 million people, male, female combined, right? But if you look at my son, kind of like 0 to 5 years old, we only have 3 million people. So that's 40% going to disappear in 40 years, right? So that's kind of like very frightening, yeah, to me. So then, how we be able to make these the next generation? They're not going out of the country and work anywhere else because they become global citizens because there's so many like the international school these days, right? So I think that's a challenge. So the answer is if you be able to build stronger Thailand, if you be able to bring back the business, right? That gonna kind of like fostering the ecosystem, and then when those younger generations say, "Oh, there's still future, I should come back," then you can attract kind of like these talent. So I think there's no better time to build this thing now, or maybe never again.
Hopefully now, with the help of everyone here. We're rapidly running out of time. It's been a fascinating conversation, but maybe just 1 minute from each of the closing statement from each of the panelists about your call to action to people in the room, investors, innovators. If there was one thing you could ask to help progress this and make it happen now, what would it be? I'll start with you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I would like to add a little bit about talents. So as Dr. Kongkiat, Dr. Kit said, so now at Sriraj Medical AI Center, we have total of 7 talents, including one from Google Health. We have 2 coming back from London AI Imaging Center, and several people coming from abroad, Thai citizen, and try to work with us now. For one thing that I think we need, and I totally 100% agree with Dr. Kit, is that we need sandbox. The good news is that now we have a sandbox for cell and gene therapy. And is a joint force between government led by Ministry of Public Health, several major medical schools, academic centers, FDA, which is regulators, and we have private company that work in cell and gene therapy business, coming and work together and try to shorten the timeline of development, and this is kind of send a strong signal to all of you here as investors that we work hard and and the government support, and hopefully we're gonna have Thai cell therapy or gene therapy that register under the Thai FDA and try to commercialize in Thailand and also in the region.
Yeah, maybe please bring up my last slides. So this is kind of like my daydream. So I using ChatGPT to kind of like portray what the future of Thailand in having the national health sandbox look like. So this is the last message.
ครับ last word to you ครับอาจารย์ก้องเกียรติ
So for me, I think as you see the whole hours on our discussion, you can see the informal linkage is happening all the time. And this is the thing that I think Thailand, for the healthcare development, we become one team rather than try to compete on each other. And with this, I think we can leverage better. It's not only about the investment to gain the profit, but you can see we have a chance to invest and to gain people to access to the care. So in the future, profit is one thing, but people and planet is another thing that we have to consider. And all of this is may not count in terms of the bank money or the coin that you can get, but the happiness of the society is a key. That's why BDMS keep doing this, because we want our healthcare system is more sustained for the people of Thailand region and in the world. So that is my conclusion. We are a Thai team.
Thank you very much ครับ and on that positive note please join me in round of applause for the panelists. Thank you very much ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you very much for the informative session. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our session on health tech and advanced therapeutic medicine, potential new S-curve for Thailand's healthcare industry. Over the past hour, we have gained insight into how innovations such as AI, digital transformation, and advanced therapeutic are shaping the future of Thailand's healthcare industry. Our panelists highlighted how technology-driven solutions and medical breakthrough are not only transforming patient care, but also opening up entire new growth opportunity for Thailand to strengthen its position as a regional healthcare hub. We have heard how health tech innovation from digital platform and AI power to diagnostic to personalized treatment are improving healthcare access and efficiency. The discussion also explores how collaboration between hospital, technology venture, and research institute will be critical to accelerating Thailand's competitiveness in this critical moment of rapidly evolving sector. And ladies and gentlemen, our last session today is on virtual banks in Thailand, opportunities, risks, and governance challenges. We are privileged to be joined by representatives from institutions that have been granted licenses and are preparing to launch operations next year, who will share with us their perspective on the opportunities ahead and the challenges that must be addressed. Today we have Chief Financial Officer SCBX, Mr. Manop Sangyambut, and Head of Leading Asset Money and Head of Business Development, Business Leading Product Asset Nano, Mr. Ittinan Wattana Suksanti. Ms. Sarachaya Sonsong, Assistant Managing Director, Kietnakin Pathara Securities, will be our moderator for this session. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome all the panelists and moderator on the stage.
Okay. Well, thank you, the Seth, for the warm introduction, and thank you, Kun Manop, Kun Thinan, for joining us today. So it's my privilege to hear your view on the virtual banking. So maybe we start from looking back to the overseas lessons. Okay, it's true that a few virtual banks worldwide, like Kakao in Korea, Starlink in the UK, and WeBank in China, have managed to become profitable. However, their receipt is quite small compared to the banks. So I start with you, Kun Manop. Given your consortium include Kakao and WeBank, that have cited become a rare success stories. And given Thailand has moved toward free online banking platforms, so how will you, the lesson from this market being most relevant here, and where do you see your greatest impact for the country, right?
Thank you, Kap. First of all, I'm very pleased to be here to meet you all to share our thinking behind the virtual banking business, which we believe to be the business for the future, not only for Thailand, but and also for the SCBX group. Before I try to address your questions, the thinking behind why SCBX group apply for virtual bank license, we believe that while mobile banking penetration is already quite high in Thailand, but still we have quite a large underbanked or underserved populations. So high mobile banking penetration doesn't mean that we already will serve our customers. So there's no doubt that the market is still there, and I believe should be large enough for the three of us, the three virtual bank, to be doing really well. So we are quite looking forward to it. But we realize that, and everyone already know that there are not many success cases for digital banks in the world and in the region. And that's why SCBX Group has been quite strategic and specific about who we want to work with on the long-term basis as our partners in this new venture, new journey for us. So Kakao Bank and WeBank are one of the more profitable, and if not most profitable, digital banks and more successful in Asia. So we are very pleased to have the opportunity to work with them in this venture. The lessons that we have learned from both of them to be successful in digital bank business is, first of all, the products have to be innovative. The user experience must be user-friendly and very hyper-personalized, to the extent that it will create, you have to make customers feel overwhelmed with the products that you are offering. It will have to be very different from the ways mobile banking apps have been serving or offering to our customers. And secondly, the new bank will have to be AI native from front to back office. The technology that we will deploy must be AI native, which is quite different. You know, many banks have been talking about, including SCB Bank. We are trying to adjust or transform ourselves to be AI first or AI native bank, but it is not easy because of the legacy system, the legacy issues that came with the incumbent bank. And that's why we believe that when we have the opportunity to start a new bank with fresh ideas, with AI native team, and also strategy from the beginning, that will make a big difference. One thing that we have to really emphasize with all of this new products, innovative products, AI native technology, we have to make sure that the cost to serve will have to be lower than our current cost structure. SCBX has a CI ratio of around 40%. SCB Bank has a CI ratio of under 40%. I think the latest quarter, the number was around 38-39%, which is already quite good when we compare with the regional peers. But we want to make sure that our new virtual bank will have a cost to serve and cost income ratio much lower than that. For example, Kakao Bank, the CI ratio has been around early 30s. WeBank, I believe the latest number that I looked at is a little bit below 30%. And I think they have planned to go even lower than that. So we want to make sure that the cost to serve, the CI ratio for the new bank, has to be very, very competitive. Otherwise, we will not survive in this game.
Thank you ค่ะคุณธินันท์ครับ Talking about AI native, I believe that Ascent Money actually bring in strong fintech capability to True Money, right? So how you plan to leverage this ecosystem to shape your virtual bank strategy?
Okay, thank you. At Ascent Money, right? So we see that virtual bank is like a big milestone. Is our next step that bring us to giving the complete financial journey to our customer, right? Our strength is actually combining the True Money user, True Money infrastructure that we serve over 30 million users every day. That come together with a broad of our partnership, not limited to just CP and I think that is very important for us, right? Because our strategy is really simple that make banking as a part of customer daily life. So that's why the partnership is very important. Because to understand the customer insight and customer behavior, right? Partnership is play important role on that one. We can understand the behavior of customer. We can embedding our banking product or the financial product to offer the customer with their feel this burden for them. That is the thing that we looking for. And I think that the three impact that's we quite impressed for the virtual banking is first, we will see the more inclusive or more flexible credit product that we think that we're going to see. That through the using alternative credit scoring, alternative data, that in the main target for like a gig worker, underserved segment or the informal worker, something like that. That I think that alternative data is very important to in part of this. Second thing, we will see fully digital and mobile first offering to the customer. That is the thing that we see that especially it's going to be like easy to access, simple and trustworthy. That's one is very important, especially the one that who come through the formal banking system in the first time. That is very important. The third thing that we think that we're going to see that it's just not only credit. We will see the offering is beyond the credit through the saving product, investment product, or even a protection. That we will see the product is will tailor more and customize to the like each segmentation. It's not just like a product off the shelf that to the offer to everyone is same thing. But we will see more on the payer will use the data-driven offering to the customer. That's the thing that we see. And I think that's all combined together. That's one going to create a big impact and it's our strength that we will offer to the customer.
Thank you. And I have the follow-up question for both of you. So that brings us to another critical issue, which is trust. Given that the customer are asked to move saving into a full digital bank, and this is also a big leap for many customers. So actually, what will be the toughest challenge in earning customer confidence, and how do you plan to address it? So maybe I start with you ค่ะคุณมานพ
Well, virtual banks are regulated entity. The regulations are the same as the incumbent banks. So I think in terms of trust, I don't see this will be a critical issues for our target customers.
But given the Bank of Thailand may not allow you to use the same logo or same format that may link to the original bank, right? So how you can make sure that the trust will be the same as your original customers?
I think customers know which bank, which new banks belong to which group. I think the three group who are awarded the license are all reputable businesses in the country, and I don't think it will be that difficult to earn the trust from the customers. I think it's more important to think about how to gain and attract customers with the right products.
And how about you คุณอิทธินันท์
I think for us, right, I think the trust is everything for the banking. I think it's very important, right? So to ask the customer to move their money to the virtual bank with its no branch, I think is very important. It's not just like you deliver the best technology or the best convenience for the customer. It's more than that. It's not just the convenience, but I think customer need the real confidence for them to move the money to you, right? So I think that we best for us we plan to build the trust with with four pillars. First is about transparency. That is very important for a customer. That to offer the product and the thing that to the customer is transparent. Customer can easily understand that hey, what is the product for, and what is the term condition, what is the thing that they are taking. Second is our proven record, right? Track record from the True Money that we already serve customer over the 30 million user. That thing we will leverage our expertise and our system that our know-how to serve the customer. The third thing I think is a humanized digital support. Even we offer the customer through everything digital, right? But it's very important that if customer need, we will support them with meaningful support that customer to ensure that even we service them via digital channel, but they can get the support once they require. And the third thing, we will build the protection in every layer. It means it's in terms of like data security, in terms of the PDPA, that is very important that we build trust. I think all combined together, right? That the thing that we offer the customer, that the real value and real meaningful service to customer, that's the thing that we can build the trust step by step.
Okay. And the next one go to คุณมานพ Given that SCB has strong digital financing capabilities already, how do you see virtual bank go further and expand beyond what you are already offering?
SCB mobile banking app currently has over 18 million customers already. But as I mentioned, they are mainly doing normal transactions. It doesn't mean that they have access to the financial needs that they would like to have. So that's what I mean by we still see lots of opportunity. But let me perhaps make some contrast between the current banking app that we have vis-a-vis the new offering that we are thinking about to offer to the market. Most banks, including SCB Bank, think of mobile banking app as a channel, as a digital channel on top of the physical channels that we have. So it turns out to be that the mobile banking apps that we have are quite product-driven as opposed to customer-driven. The interface is quite static. You know, I'm sure if you're using most of the apps, if you want to look for one product, you have to go to many layers of menu to look for the products that you like. So the apps is not personalized. So that's what we want to change. The question is that, you know, when we know this when we realize that this is the problems and issues to serve our customers better, why don't we just change our app? It comes down to legacy issues, legacy system that we have, that we are inherited as an incumbent. So we believe that with the collaboration with world-class partners, Kakao Bank and WeBank, together with our experience in the Thai market, our understanding of the regulatory environment, we believe that we will be able to offer new products, new service, new customers that will overwhelm our customers.
Thank you, Ka. And you just mentioned that your customer base includes small merchants, gig workers, and also many bank individuals. So with the virtual bank, how do you plan to serve them better while also supporting the long-term financial inclusions in Thailand?
Okay. I think that's one is a good question. I think to provide a financial inclusion, it's just not like giving them to open a bank account, right? So I think that we should offer or service them with the product that they need. That is a very important and key important for us. For example, for the credit. For the credit, right, so like an underserved segment like a gig worker, irregular income, or the small merchant, right, they cannot get the loan from the traditional system, not because they are bad or the high risk, but maybe the system or traditional system is not developed or the built for them. They just don't have like a payslip or don't have the credit history. It doesn't mean that they have no discipline. That is a thing that we see. What we do, right? So we use all the data, we use the big data, come together with our AI's credit score to underwrite and offer them the credit line to them. Actually, what we offer is not just like a big credit line for the customer. Maybe it's just small credit line for them to enough to prove themselves, and then we can unlock more feature later. That's the thing that we do. What we see in our example that we as an annual offer the loan, right? We see the small street food vendor, right? So actually they had they need to buy the ingredient to sell every day, right? So that's the thing that one day sell the product and then they use that money to buy or restock to sell tomorrow. That is a thing that we see. But once they have the emergency need or even their children get sick, that go to school, go to the hospital, they don't have the money to do it. But if they use the money to bring of course they have to bring their child to the hospital, but they have no money more to restock. That's the thing that we see. Actually, they don't need the big money or a large loan amount. They just got the small credit line that enough for them to run the business. That's the thing that we see. Apart from the credit, I think virtual bank or us will is not just for the lending, but we see we can build the deposit that tailor and customize that to refit to the customer needs. And that is a thing that we will do.
Right, maybe I have a follow-up question for you first. Given you have started up the nano financing already, and how you see virtual bank help you to scale this inclusive lending? I mean, in a bigger way than what you are doing now. How you can scale all the nano financing that you have under just TrueMoney, right? With the virtual bank license, how big of the business that maybe you expect to see?
Okay, I think the thing that we do virtual banking, right? Of course, we will leverage the TrueMoney infrastructure that what we have, right? And then we will our strategy is to make it simple for the customer, right? We will work closely with the TrueMoney, but of course that is independent of infrastructure based on the regulation. What we do, we will learn from the TrueMoney know-how on how to understand the customer, how to embed the offering to the customer. That is the thing that we do, right? So, and what, for example, that we can buy with the TrueMoney is, for example, that TrueMoney that we have the strong network of the payment and strong network of small merchant. If we see that, hey, merchant that listen the money and we see that they have the consent-free behavior, so they can convert the money to the credit for them. That is a thing that I think we can do.
Right. And we also have seen the banks investing heavily in digital transformation. How do you see yourself competing head-on with them? Or do you expect area for collaborations? Kumanop
We discussed earlier that the offering by virtual banks will have to be very, very different from traditional banks with a much lower cost structure. So we believe that it is a new market segment altogether. The first group of customers that we want to focus on would be the underserved populations, because after all, these licenses, the rationale for granting these licenses from the Bank of Thailand is to have a better financial inclusion for the country. And this group of customers have not been adequately served by the traditional banks. It is true that there are quite a number of non-banking financial institutions who are servicing these customers already. But I believe that with the proper virtual banks, the level of service or the level of financial inclusion will be much better than before. So in a way, we believe that we are not competing head-on with traditional banks on the lending side. There could be some competition on the funding side because we all have to compete for a deposit. Maybe deposit cost could be a little bit higher than traditional banks, but with the CI ratio that would be much lower than traditional banks. We would remain very competitive. But the other thing that I would like to highlight is that it all comes down to to what extent the regulator allow virtual banks to price their products. Are we talking about the real risk-based pricing or the pricing caps or the interest rate caps that we are seeing right now in the market? But in any case, I believe that the returns by the virtual banks at the mature stage of the business scale, after scaling up the business, would be much higher than traditional banks. Most of the banks are generating less than 1% ROA, and the ROE are also well below 10%.
And the same question to you, Khun Ithinan.
Okay, I think it's not like a zero-sum game, right? So I totally agree with Khun Manop that I think the collaboration is not just about that it's impossible or not, but I think it's essential that traditional bank and virtual bank need to work together in this way, right? I think traditional bank maybe many things that can bring to the table, such as like capital that Khun Manop just mentioned, coverage of service, full service that they offer, or coverage of branch, that is still important for some segment of customer. For the digital bank, what we bring, right, is like digital native, right? We bring the personalized data driven to the customer. We bring the reach to the underserved segment. That's the thing that the virtual bank can bring. I think of course, it's maybe somewhat segmented overlap, but I think if we can work together, I think it's very, very meaningful for the system. For example, I think we can work together in various ways, right? For example, that maybe in terms of like a co-lending, for example, or even we do like data sharing in the concept of the Bank of Thailand on the open banking data, that we can share data together, that we can offer customer the fit service to the customer. I think that's the thing that we can work together. I think virtual bank that's come into the system is just not for the compete or replace any bank. What we come to reshape the financial service that is more accessible to the system.
Thank you, Ka. And of course, none of this can be possible without the right technology foundation. So let me start with you. Given your partner expertise, what do you see as a signature technology or feature of your virtual bank?
Certainly, the technology that we will adopt must be AI native. It must be cloud-based, native cloud. And we will be looking to leverage our partners' expertise to build the core banking system on our own. And this is how we want to keep our cost to serve low.
Okay, and for Khun Ithinan, the asset money ecosystem span payments, retail and online services. How do you plan to integrate virtual bank into this daily ecosystem to make sure that you become part of customer everyday life?
Okay. I think our goal is not just like think that virtual bank is just another application that for the customer to remember, right? So the thing that we would like to do, we would like to embed the service into the customers in every moment of the customer use, right? For example, that for the True Money that now we serve the customer over 30 million users that they use our application for spending, or we see their behavior to how to they spend, how they put to save, how to invest. That's the thing that we see from the customer behavior. The thing that we will do, right? We will integrate those systems or the banking service to the customer step, right? Let's give you some example that one customer used the wallet to pay the rent. We have some notes to the customer that, hey, don't spend too much. You should save some or something like that. Or they use our wallet, our application for the as a merchant, right? They use for the receive money from their customer. When they receive the money, they can convert those to the capital, or sorry, to the credit line for them that they can use capital or credit line for their business. That's the thing that we expect that we will see, right? So I think that if you embed that the finance into the customer at the right time, at the right product, right? So that's one is to customer is just not a burden for the customer that need to apply the banking service. They will feel that is thing that we offer to the customer is support. So that if how we think that if we leverage and we integrate.
Right. And for Kun Manop, do you see any product of Kakao Bank or V Bank that you think is quite new for Thai market and could be the good option for Thais too?
Yes. The underlying products would be more or less traditional banking products. But then the feature, the add-on feature that would make the difference. For example, in the Kakao Bank's case, they have built in lots of gamification in their product features, or the level of personalization that allow the customer to pick and choose the features that most suitable to their behavior or their spending patterns. So I think these are the things that we would look to adopt and then make these products a new alternatives to our customer base. And after all, we will make it appeal and easy for the underbanked populations.
Any product from asset money or Ant that you see quite relevant to Thai market?
I think the thing that we know from Ant is just not like the off-the-shelf product that we bring from the Ant, but I think that what we learn, right? So we learn that how to operate and work closely in terms of offer the service that we can leverage from the Ant platform. For example, that we have for the True Money that we can use the True Money. When you go to China, you can use True Money to spend in China rather than you need to install another application. That is the thing that I don't think that is like bring the product on the shelf and to apply. But I think what we can do, we can leverage our partnership that to make the product is fit to the customer and make the customer is easier.
Okay, and now we move to another quite important topic, which is about compliance. The Bank of Thailand requires the virtual bank to operate independently from existing systems, and there are restrict some external channels in some way. So how you stay compliant while still be able to leverage on the partner strength? That's for you, first, Kun Manop.
Yes. We, as a financial institution in Thailand, and we have been operating in Thailand for a long time, we are very committed to being fully compliant with the Bank of Thailand's regulations. So the new virtual bank will not look to leverage the infrastructure or the ecosystem that SCB Bank has already has in the past. In order to do that, we will have, of course, independent core banking system. So we'll build this from scratch and then make sure that it is a totally different platform. We will maintain a separate ecosystem. I think one of the things that we may not have, unlike Kakao Bank or WeBank, where they have already a large ecosystems in the country. We don't have such a large digital ecosystem to leverage. But we believe that wouldn't put us at a much disadvantage versus the other competitors. We will maintain a neutral platform to connect with various ecosystems, very much on a easy plug and play model that will allow us to build our own ecosystems and without leveraging the bank's ecosystem. So with the right products, I believe that the right and very different products, I believe the new virtual bank of SCBX will be able to compete in this new market.
Thank you ค่ะ and คุณอธินันท์คะ how will you balance the same requirement independence while still able to maximize the advantage of your group's digital and retail networks?
I think we fully rely on the Bank of Thailand to do work independently on terms of the system that independently from the existing core system. That's we setting up our infrastructure separately from the existing infrastructure. We have like fully compliant. We have the cyber security, or we also operate in the full autonomy that's separate from the existing company, right? So that's the thing that we do. But however, the independent, it doesn't mean isolation. So what we do, right? So we all can work together or leverage our network to offer the best or better service to the customer. We can share the expertise from the Trumani or our partner to know the insight of the customer, and we can get the customer data based on customer consent. That too, we can know and understand customer and offer the product that fit to the demand of them. That is the thing that how we operate.
Right. I think we touch upon strategy, technologies, and compliance. So maybe let's turn a bit to the financial perspective of the virtual bank. Okay. And as we have seen for many countries that the virtual bank require quite a heavy upfront investment and a long runway before profitable. So may I ask you first, because you are CFO, so how you plan to balance the pressure on early returns and the need to build scale and customer trust?
First, the strategy will have to be based on the right cost structure. I think the reason why incumbent banks have a high cost structure because they have legacy issues. They have legacy systems that they have to deal with, and they are not easy to be dealt with. But being able to start the new business and learn and draw experience from the successful players from around the region, I believe that we should be able to strike a good balance between the investment that we have to make vis-a-vis the long-term return. So in any case, it cannot be more than the capital commitment that we are committed to. So 5 billion baht at the beginning, going up to 10 billion baht capital contribution. SCBX has the experience to build new business outside of the banking business. And we also know how to scale up the business with the right timing. So I think this is something that we will look to balance investment vis-a-vis the long-term growth. At the end of the day, the return that we expect from the virtual bank business will have to be significantly higher than what we are earning from the traditional bank.
Okay, and maybe can I ask you a follow-up? What key milestone will you use to measure the financial success in the early years for the virtual bank?
In the early years?
Yeah.
Well, of course, we set the milestone both short terms and long term. Eventually, we want to make sure that the virtual bank will be on the path to high double-digit ROEs. In the short terms, maybe direct financial measures may not be appropriate measures at the beginning, but of course we will look at customer traction, customer engagement, and the way we launch our products to meet customers' demand. So the first, at the beginning, it will be more on the customer engagement kind of criteria that will lead to long-term financial returns.
Thank you, Ka. And turning to ACM, given your digital-first platform and fintech DNA, how is ACM thinking about building sustainable value for the customers and also the business over time?
I think for the partnership, right? So that I think the partnership. I think the partnership is the key driver to make the virtual bank success and offer the best service to the customer. I think the way that we select a partnership, that we look at the goal, that we need to share the same goal, that we can work together, right? So, for example, that to offer the loan to the customer, that we work with the retail merchant or anything, right? So we get the data from the merchant or the retail based on the customer consent, that to offer them the credit, to build them to have the credit line to spend, right? So that's the thing that we do. And what way do we do? We not just like to offer the large loan amount to the customer to maximize the profits. What I think we would like to ensure that customer have ability to repay and can manage well. That's the thing that we do. We would like to lend responsibly. It's not just like to maximize our revenue. That's the way that we do. So when we come up with a partnership or the one that can join us, I think that is very important that we share the same goal, that we can bring the best service to the customer.
And what kinds of partnership that are you looking for? I mean, to make you succeed the goal.
I think the partnership, right? I think what we expect is like a partnership that can come to fulfill our strategy and our goal and our vision that if we think about. So the partnership that what we target, right? We would like to offer and serve the product for the underserved segment. So I think that the partnership that can help us to move us forward and bring that strength that can work together. That is the thing that we use as a criteria.
Right. I think we touched a bit on the deposit competition that may happen with the virtual bank. Okay. My question is about what will be the impact that you expect the virtual bank to have on overall industry, apart from just the deposit competition. I mean, maybe the financial stability or the lending competition or new fee products. Maybe start with you, Khun Manop.
There will be some competition for sure, but given the amount of capital, maximum 10 billion baht for each bank, we are talking about 30 billion baht. So let's say if we leverage up to 7 to 8 times, then it would still be around less than 250 billion baht. So compared with the overall Thai banking landscape, we are talking about 18, 19 trillion Thai baht of the loan asset. So I don't see this as a major competition that will shake the market landscape for the country. So it comes down to how you make your deposit products much more attractive or much more interesting in such a way that the cost will not be too prohibitive to compete in this new market segment.
Right. And I think I discussed with you before that you actually see a room to grow deposit because right now, True Money or Ascent Nano funded by the bonds, right? So what kinds of deposit that are you looking to pull from the system? And is there any feature that you would like to add on that deposit?
Okay. The thing again, right? So I think the not just us, right? I think the three of us for the virtual bank player that come to fulfill the system for, especially for the underserved segment that we can offer to the customer. The thing that we offer is just not like the credit product. We go beyond that. It's like a deposit that you just mentioned, right? The deposit that I think we can decide, right? So we can decide the product that fit to the customer. It's just not like about the interest rate. We can offer a product that help the customer to set the goal to their target or make some gamification that we are quite familiar with, and we know the customer behavior, how we design a product that truly fit to them and make them very easy to save or to deposit the money and help them go and grow it with them together. That is the thing that we can bring. Another thing is about the ecosystem, right? Because we reach to the customer over the 30 million users that they use our app every day, right? So that's the thing that we can do. We can embed the journey for them to deposit more, to invest more, or to buy the protection that is good for them to their journey. Don't need to like a customer feel like it's very burden. It feels that difficult to save or invest, but we make it very easy, simple, and accessible for the customer. I think that's the one that we can bring into the table.
Thank you. Well, I think one of the reasons why the Bank of Thailand would like to have this virtual bank is to improve financial inclusions. And given we now have quite high household debt, do you think virtual bank will help to not solve the problem but maybe escalate the household debt level for Thailand? Because maybe people can access to more proper debts, right? Yeah. Any thought on that? Maybe I start with you, Khun Manop.
No, virtual banks will help address the financial inclusion problem in Thailand. They will not escalate the level of high household debt because the household debts in Thailand are already quite high. But there is still large informal lending segment in Thailand, and it is this segment that we believe that when we have new players, virtual banks will address to bring people from the informal segment into the formal segment. I think this is the very, very important issues that we want to address.
And same question to you, Ka.
I totally agree with Khun Manop, right? So virtual bank is not come to increase the household debt. What we do, right? For example, that I will give you an example. Our portfolio, right? Over 50% never get the loan approved, or ever they never apply the loan or got the reject from the bank. How they do? They go to the informal market, go to the loan shark. That is already be there. What the thing that we do, right? We use the data or use our expertise to lend them. The question is not about hey, lend it more, but how we lend and what they use the money for. If we lend them like with the responsibility that offer the credit line that not too much and help them to manage well, and they can use the loan or the credit line to run their business, rather than they just go to the loan shark, which is not recorded in the system. But what we do, we bring them into the formal market. So when we bring them to the formal market, right, so we can traceable and trackable, so that is maybe is a better and help the real inclusion to the system.
Maybe that's one point that I want to add. While I say that virtual banks will not escalate or worsen the high household debt issues in Thailand, virtual banks will not help easing this issue as well. It may help if the Bank of Thailand allows virtual banks to do real risk-based pricing, which is something that I think we need more clarity from the regulator. To address the high household debt issue in the country, a lot of measures have been announced to address the debt issues, but which is not the right way to solve these issues. I think we need to address or to solve the income issues for the low income population, which is a large population in the country. But that's not easy to be done because that will require fiscal policies, more cohesive government policies to stimulate income or to lift income for the low income of the grassroots population in Thailand.
Thank you ค่ะ I think we actually cover all the prospect of the virtual bank. Maybe I want to close with this final question to both of you. If we were to meet again 5 years from now, what would you like your virtual bank to be best known for? So let me start with you ค่ะคุณมานพ
5 years is a long time to think about right now. Right now we merely look at how economy will do in the next few quarters or next year at best. But in any case, I believe that SCBX Virtual Bank will offer something very new to the market. Customers will feel overwhelmed with our new offerings. The mandate that we give to the team that are building the bank right now or setting up the bank right now is to make sure that it will create customers' delight. I think that's the word that we are using internally. So we just want to make sure that it will be just a new experience and people will recognize this new bank as the most preferred virtual banking platform in the country.
And the same question to you ค่ะคุณนิธินันท์
Okay. If we meet again 5 years, I think that the thing that we expect, right? So I think that we would like to customer and recognize us as the bank that give them the opportunity, is not give them the feature or the another product provider. If you are customer and they look back that, hey, we are the first bank that giving them the opportunity, the first bank that believe and trust in them and have the real chance to got the credit product for the first time. And that's a thing that I think that we would like to see is our legacy. We don't want a customer just remember us just like the bank that give the best feature that we offer to the customer. But we would like to customer think that the virtual bank is the thing that giving them the opportunity that they can stay and grow together.
Right. Okay ค่ะ Thank you both for sharing your perspective. We have heard two distinct strategy, but with the same common goal to innovate, to expand access, and also build trust in the new digital era, while also navigating regulatory challenge at the same time. The coming years will be a defining chapter for our industry, and I believe that these consortium play a central role. So please join me in giving them a warm round of applause. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much for an insightful session. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude Thailand Focus 2025, on behalf of the Stock Exchange of Thailand and our co-hosts, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to all our speakers, moderators, partners, and participants for making today's event such a success. Thank you for all your active participation and valuable contribution throughout the day. We wish you a pleasant evening and look forward to welcoming you back again next year. ขอบคุณและสวัสดีค่ะ